Hello Stampers, welcome to another rubber redneck video tutorial. Today I'm going to be demonstrating how to make this little wine holder. And this wine holder will fit the 187 milliliter wine bottle. I used the Always Thankful stamp set to create this. So to start out with, we're going to create the box part. You want to cut one piece of Lucky Limeade cardstock at 7 1/4 by 11 inches. Once you have that cut, then you're going to score it at 2 1/4, 4 1/2, 6 3/4, and 9 inches. So score it at 2 1/4, 4 1/2, 6 3/4, and 9 inches. Then you're going to turn your cardstock and you're going to score it at 2 1/4 inches in on one side only. So score it in 2 1/4 inches in. Then cut out the square down here on the bottom with the smallest length of cardstock here. This will be your last part of the end when you're scoring your cardstock. So you want to cut that square out. Once you have that cut out, then go ahead and decorate your Lucky Limeade cardstock. And what I did is I took the Wonderfully Worn background stamp and I inked it in Lucky Limeade and stamped several times until it covered the entire piece of cardstock. I then cut on the scored lines here up to that 2 1/4 mark to create tabs for the bottom of the box. And then once you have that cut, then apply sticky strip on one end of the tab and then apply sticky strip on the side over here on that short piece that from when you scored. Then what you want to do to create this little part on the front of the box here, this is important to do this before you assemble the box. You want to take the decorative label punch, hold it upside down, and slide it in at the top. And I went about halfway to the center of the decorative label punch, and then I just punched that out. And there you've created the front of your little box to make it a little more decorative. Now you're ready to assemble the box. So I'm going to peel off the sticky strip, and then you're just going to start folding your box around. Just line up your edges and then press down. And then once you have that part done, then you're ready to assemble the bottom of the box. So what I did is I put it upside down here, and you want the punched piece here facing you towards the front. And I'll show you a reason why for that. Fold in the two sides, and then fold over the side with the sticky strip on it already. And peel off the backing on the sticky strip. And then fold the flap over on top of that. And the reason why I did the punched piece at the bottom facing me, the punched out, that way for sure you make sure you get the bottom flap facing the back, so then you have a finished front edge on the front here. Now to finish decorating it, I cut one piece of Early Espresso cardstock at 2 inches by 4 inches. I ran it through the Big Shot with the Perfect Details background plate. And then I placed stamping dimensionals on the back, and you're going to attach that to the front of your box. Then you want to cut one piece of Cajun Craze cardstock at 1 1/4 by 3 1/2. I took my paper snips and I cut out a triangle on the bottom down here. And then I ran it through the Big Shot with the Houndstooth embossing folder and sponged the edges with Cajun Craze ink. You're just going to place some snail right onto the back of that piece of cardstock and then place that in the center of the Early Espresso on the front of your box. Then I cut one piece of Naturals Ivory cardstock at 1 3/4 by 2 inches. I took the stamp from Always Thankful, inked it in jet black StazOn, and stamped onto the cardstock. I then colored it in using the Stampin' markers, and then I took the stamp from Fabulous Phrases, inked up the gratitude into Early Espresso, and stamped it onto a piece of more mustard. I punched it out with the decorative label punch, snailed it onto the back of this piece here, and sponged the edges with more mustard. And then I set a metallic brads up here in the upper corner. Then I placed a stamping dimensional on the back of that little square, and then I placed that right onto the center of the Early Espresso, overlapping the Cajun Craze cardstock. And then to finish it off, I tied a little bow around the top of the wine bottle out of natural hemp, and then it just slides right into the little wine holder that you have now created. Thank you for watching.